Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we're going to be checking out Fire Night Hard 10, the hardest content right now in Raid Shadow Legends. I want to share with you the world record team. I want to share with you a slightly more accessible team if you've got decent gear. And then I want to share with you my team that I've built out, which we've been kind of like refining over the last week or so, which is a freeze team and actually tries to like play Fire Night Hard as it was meant to be played. So really cool. I do want to shout out these guys here. So we've got Callous, Scent, No Energy, and Splitsy, who are basically leading the way in trying to help people with this game mode. Also, it's something they find super fun. But they've got a site here which we're going to go through with Scent in a second. And basically they built some tools to help people do the job as well. So cool to see people like Theory crafting this new tough content and sharing it with wider kind of community as well. Right, so we've got one of the team on the channel right now. We're actually going to talk through some of the tools that they've developed, and actually what they've gone on their site is a load of strategy guides as well. So I'd like to welcome Scent. Scent, how you doing, man?
Hey, thanks for having me on. Nice to be back.
Not at all. No, it's cool. Like, obviously, you've been on the channel before. We did a bit of a showcase of your account. But yeah, this seems to be like a bit of a passion for you and the other guys at the moment.
I mean, I think we talked about it when I was on, but for endgame whales, krakens, at some point you got to find something to do.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
This is
And this one, I mean, this is tough, right? Fire Night Hard
exactly.
10, but it's probably the hardest content in the game right now.
I would say so. Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of you need everything, right? Live arena bonuses, empowerment, souls, gear.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Well,
yeah,
we're going to go
it's
on and see some of your like best teams in action, coming through in this video. But I just wanted to show people really, and I'll link it down below for people that want to check this out. I want to show people some of the work that you guys have done, because we've got a really cool site here, which not only talks about some of the teams that you've built, but also it talks about the actual strategy behind them in case people want to try and build their own comps.
exactly. Yeah.
So I guess walk us through where's best place to start here.
I guess we just go to Fire Night Guide. So this is still, it's gonna be a living document, so it's a work in progress.
Sure.
We're going to be adding, I guess, from top down. So I mean, we started with like the Kraken comps, and then we're going to be going down to like the whale comps, and then to the minnow comps, and what have you. So, and we're trying to break it up into different, I guess, different categories. So of how to tackle the Fire Knight. So for example, right now the first one, right, ally attack plus counter attack. This is probably like the original tune everyone was kind of running, like a cardio plus a Valk Martyr.
This is what I was going to say, plus a Valk, right? So it was almost like if you didn't have cardio or Valk at the start, that was pretty much the only teams that I saw, right? And I think since then, actually, there's now kind of been Martyr added in the mix, which I think we're going to see in the video a bit later on, because I've not seen it running, and my question was going to be, how do you keep the Martyr alive? Like, I get with the Valk, she brings a massive shield, but I didn't actually. I don't understand the Martyr one, so I'd be interested to see how that works.
Yep, bolster or shield set is your friend.
Oh, okay. You just like absolutely sort of tank them up with a bolster. Yeah.
Yep. It's like it's once we like had it tuned down, you kind of realize you don't need as many stats as you would think. Before we were brute forcing it, and now as we kind of refined it, it's definitely more accessible to more people, I believe now.
Okay, cool. And then the double ally attack. I guess in essence, you've got a similar theme here. It's just you absolutely just need as many hits as possible into the shield to get the fight going, right? And then at that point, you then got a chance to actually do some damage to this guy.
And that one does need Newt because of his TM, reduction.
Yes.
On his A1. So he's key. He definitely enabled this comp. This was something we had in theory for a while, but without him, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, and have you tried? I guess you would have done. Have you tried with like your Carls and Cryodan, the other kind of potential freeze A1ers?
Yeah, so we've played with it a little bit, not as much, just because we were kind of chasing world records at the time.
Yeah.
Shout out to I think Callous for getting the first sub 60.
Nice.
Run.
Yeah, I know you two have been like head to head, like battling it out basically, haven't you?
Yeah, it's like he hit his, and then I hit mine like 10 runs after his.
Right. Nice.
But no, definitely props to him. But yeah, it was Newt definitely enables a lot here.
Sure.
It was a good fusion.
Yeah, I've got to say, like, I mean, I probably called it out when they first dropped Fire Night Hard. Like, we just didn't have the champions in the pool to even really conquer the task. Like, they just didn't really exist. And it feels like slowly over time, we're starting to get this kind of drip feed of half decent epics, and then now we've got Newt, who's a great legendary for it. So obviously it's on their radar that they need to bring some different mechanics, and hopefully we get an ally attacker or a counter attacker that's got, again, a few more.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, cool. Okay, and then
Yeah, I mean, you can always click into each one on the left, or yeah, right there for more info.
Yeah.
It kind of just gives you a bit more detailed breakdown. These aren't, just so everyone is aware, these aren't I guess hard rules, but guidelines, right? We've dumped, I don't know, tens of thousands of gems and hundreds of thousands of energy into this, testing all this for consistency and trying to figure out all the different weird little bugs. So these are just kind of general guidelines for everyone to kind of shoot for. If you find someone better, that's awesome. Please share with the rest of us. But
yeah, I mean, where you kind of running through this, like, how important is it to have, say, blessings on your team for surviving the slams and stuff like that?
So it helps, right? It's again, it's hard to have like a hard rule for it. It depends on your gear level too. So
Yeah.
for some of mine, I had like slightly better gear for some of my champs
Sure.
versus Callous, but he had more blessings, and the end is kind of a wash for both of us.
Okay. Yeah.
So I pump more stats, he into defense. He could pump more stats into attack, so he's probably slightly faster through one wave or two waves or whatever.
Yeah. And
So
it's got to be said here,
tweak.
like in some of the other hard dungeons, there are almost like your I guess earlier account options, right? Like I've just built a Spider 10 hard team today. It was really quite low level gearing required, all that type of stuff. Dragon is hard, is tougher in terms of gear requirement, but still you can get through it. I feel like with Fire Knight at the moment, this is like a gear check big time, right? I know it's a champion check as well, but also it's a big time gear check, isn't it?
100%. Yeah, 100%. It's if you don't have, honestly, like kind of end game-ish gear, or at this point, it's going to be tough for your account.
Yeah. I mean, if you, bearing in mind we're at level 10 and they're probably going to be pushing out towards level 25 eventually. Like,
I can't even
scaling it the way they do. Like, didn't you see? Did you see the way to doing that at the moment?
Not at the moment. I mean, we kind of have a rough idea of how they're going to try to scale it, but it's going to be a stretch. I mean,
yeah, even going from like stage 5 up to 10, the difference is huge in terms of the amount of speed you need and stats you need.
Speed is he's fast. At 10, he is very fast.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just jump into the next section here. So this is one of the things which I guess Callous has built, and you guys have been refining over the last probably couple of months. I know you spoke to me about it a little while ago, but the kind of the toolkit here, or the what would you call it? It's almost like similar to what Deadwood's got with the clan boss kind of simulator, right? The clan boss count.
Yeah. Essentially the same thing, just specifically for Fire Knight.
Sure.
I mean, it looks very similar.
Yeah, no, it's nice. And actually, if people are familiar with Deadwood's tool, then great, because ultimately what you want is something which you can kind of pick up and play with.
Exactly.
So talk us through what's going on here. I can see we've got champions on the right-hand side.
Right. So this is specific. I believe you had clicked the counterattack, double counterattack, or single counterattack, sorry, plus cold heart, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the on the right-hand side, right, if you click on the little, keep going up, the little person over there on the right, to your right.
To my right. Well, I'm right over, so I've got the name.
Next to the stage 10. When you
this one here, I got it. Okay.
So when you load into, not the moment, right? So when you load into the calc, it's actually blank, right? So this is already pre-filled with this too.
Oh, I see. Right, yeah.
So you have to click that first to start adding champions. And then the tune won't populate until you have speeds for all your champions as well.
Sure.
And then whoever, if you put Cardio in the lead, it'll autofill, right, his speed aura. If you put the bunny in the lead, it'll autofill his 20 or 24%, I believe it was, speed aura as well. And then from there, you can start playing with, so these settings that you see on the AI settings are just for the boss. So they're not for the waves, they're just for the boss. So like, for example, on Cardio here, you'll see we want him opening with his A2, right, to block debuffs in this instance.
Yeah.
And then so he'll block the debuffs from the first hit. So we won't get a decreased speed or anything. And then he leads after that with with his A3 ally attack. Same with Martyr, she puts up her counterattack first.
So sorry, let me just check here. So this is the boss But this is basically telling us what happens once we're on the boss,
Yep. So as soon as
rather
you get
than
to
the
the boss,
waves. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So does it know then what you're doing for the waves, or actually is it just assuming that you've got all your skills back by the boss?
It's assuming you have all your skills back by the boss,
Got it. Okay. Because
which
that's actually
leads
really
to
important,
the
isn't it?
wave
Because getting
tuning.
through the waves is one challenge in Finite. And
Hmm.
then if you're not setting your AIs up well, you can actually like really hurt yourself for the boss, especially on hard.
Oh yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it's when we're chasing like the record run, same thing. It was I would cut the waves for the runs early when I saw, oh look, I don't have my second ally attack up because I killed
Sure.
wave two too fast.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
already a dead run. Um, and this tune is not as bad. This is like one of the safer tunes still, more
Yeah. And
consistent
I'm
one.
just looking down the right hand side. I know I'm gonna like cover these teams, but obviously a fast Cardiel, but then the rest of the speeds are not crazy actually. Obviously
No.
all around 250 and plus or minus a bit.
Yep.
Um,
It's really quite achievable.
yeah. But the
For
challenge is Cardiel brings so much, right? He's bringing
yeah.
the ally attack, block debuffs, the speed aura.
Hmm.
His ally attack is actually stronger than near enough every other ally attack in the game because he brings everyone to the fight. Um,
Yep. Increased crit rate, increased crit damage. And you
yeah,
can
he
even
brings a ton, doesn't he? Which is
yeah.
why I think we're finding it difficult to find alternatives. I don't own Cardiel, so a lot of the really strong teams I'm struggling to get on board with, honestly,
Right.
because they're all focused with a Cardiel. And I've looked at, well, what if I threw Longbeard in here? I lose the speed aura. Everyone's got to therefore go about an extra 20 speed. Plus, I don't get these. Can I do it without the kind of block debuffs and stuff? I don't know. It makes it way harder, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, that in the instance you're talking about, right? That's when we moved over to the turn one kill. Um,
Yeah,
just killing him before Fire Knight even goes. And at that point, you do need some honestly whale kraken level gear and empowerment.
yeah, sure. But
Yeah.
this tool, so if someone was picking this up from scratch, then so if I was just to hit the reset and get a fresh look, um, so you're then adding your champion. You're basically dropping down whoever your champion is. So let's say it was new. How do I then add another champ?
Yep.
Yeah,
Just keep on
okay.
clicking.
Yeah, yeah. Stag, whatever. So you're basically adding your champions in. You're then throwing in the speed that you're trying to set them to.
Yep.
Let's call it. Let's say these were the speeds. You start to get a kind of map of what's going on.
Exactly.
I guess the challenge I would find, and I imagine most people would find right now is like, where do you then go? How do you then get yourself in a position that you think, okay, I know what to do here to try and improve my situation, or is it a little bit kind of like trial and error?
It's a little honestly, it's a little bit of trial and error. A lot of it depends on, I guess, how well you understand speed tuning.
Yeah.
In general, I mean, some people, for example, I imagine when Saf plays with this, right? He'll take to it real well and
Yes.
come up with
Yeah.
some interesting stuff. It just kind of depends on how familiar and comfortable you are with this kind of thing. Trial and error, you'll get there eventually, honestly, and that's why we tried offering some of these pre-made tunes already, and along with the guidelines we have on the site, so people have a general idea of how to go about it, where to start with it, some basic rules for them to follow. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. What's
that was
interesting
kind of the
and
goal.
something I didn't expect, right? So I just pumped random speeds in,
Hmm.
and I've got your Carl and Razorvarg slower than 250 speed, but yet we're going before the boss.
I believe that would be the cardial. At least
No, I
I
don't know. I
remember.
don't have cardio on this
The
list
let's
anymore.
see. Oh, right, cardial's not here. Yes, even me. If it's a new tune, we kind of have to
Yeah, I'm
see
just
what's
curious.
going
Right? I
on
was
with
just
it.
kind of like that seems odd. Um, I was just wondering, like, does the boss actually? So the boss might be at 250 speed. That doesn't necessarily mean.
So if you click on any of them on the left hand side, so if you go to boss turn one, and you see
Yeah,
like the expansion, yeah, there you go. So you can kind of see where you are with turn meter for each of your champions in relation to the boss at
yeah,
any point. Yeah, so this lets us fine tune. I think for one of the tunes, Callous was within like two like a tenth of barely being faster than the boss tick for TM. So
sure.
this lets you get really kind of precise with it. So we're hoping. I mean, honestly, the big reason we're releasing this to everyone is we're hoping all of you can come up with cooler
More people
tunes.
get involved and start to
Yeah,
drop their own speed tunes. Yeah,
exactly.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just everyone's account is different. Everyone has different gear, different empowerment, different levels of spending or not spending. So we do want to try to get more people on board with Fire Knight 10, because it is kind of ridiculous that dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, fair. Okay. And is there anything else that I should be calling out on the site here for people to kind of get involved with? Oh, you got links to other stuff. That's
Yep.
cool. And
Yeah,
obviously
we
we've got
linked to
the
your your optimizer already.
yeah, nice. Yeah. um, and obviously there's a link here as well in terms of the guys that kind of come up with basically most of the work. Callous, yourself, No Energy, and Splitsy. Awesome work really. Like pulling this together is brilliant. It just helps the community out. So as I say, I'll link it down below. But yeah, is there anywhere else that I should kind of direct people to before we get into
No,
actually seeing some teams?
I mean, I just encourage people to actually. I know it's hard, but to actually read through everything.
Yeah.
Um, we try to keep it as short and simple as possible, but there are some major pain points that if you don't address or you ignore, you'll just fail your runs like consistently.
Okay.
So,
Okay, cool. Well,
yep,
look,
but
thank you
yeah,
for
that's
coming
about
on
it.
and talking us through it. And I guess we're going to be seeing your account and Callous's account on this video. So we get to see some of that Kraken gear popping off, which is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, should be fun.
Brilliant. Thanks, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, then. Enough chat. I'm going to jump onto Callous's account here. Thanks, Callous, for letting me use your account. He is, full Kraken, right? We've got someone who is properly Krakened up. And he has got, at the moment, or he's building alongside Cent, these kind of like world record teams. And they're pretty much going head to head, trying to beat the world records. Cent's pretty much got better gear from what I understand, but Callous has just got a bigger account. So between them, they kind of match off really well. And yeah, they've been doing all sorts of stuff. There's champions in this team you will not expect to see, which is what I love. I love it when they do this type of thing. I will show you like maxed out Great Halls. Callous has got a pretty chunky Fire Knight upgrade in area bonus. Like this is madness, honestly, for this, this level. Really cool. We're going to go in and show off some of the team. I guess I'll show you the actual team comp first, and then we're going to check out the builds. So we've got Cardiel, a cheeky little +4 going on. Lona Thuril, Genzin, YST. We've got Genzin in the world record team. I did not expect I'd ever see that. And I've had to go and change his stat on my website. Yeah, because this is crazy. Kaimar and then Newt come in as a really good champion for these guys that are kind of like theory crafting world record stuff. Okay, let's start by checking out the builds then. So we've got a Savage Cardiel 5-star blessing. We're rocking War Master. We've got the chance to kind of get refresh going on as well. Refresh on the accessories. Damn, this is a chunky build already here. 70% crit rate because he boosts crit rate himself. We've got over 300% crit damage and 5k attack. Don't forget, this is a world record team, so it's going to be crazy gear. One of the things about Cardiel, why is he so good and why is he used in so many big teams? Big part of it is the A3. He's one of only 3 champions in the game that teams up with every ally to do an ally attack. There's only Longbeard, him, and Lona Thuril that do that in the game. He's also bringing a speed aura, though, so it gives you less requirement for speeds in your team. And the speeds here, as we've seen already in this champion, are high. And then if you're going to be hit, like we see in Team 2, then the block debuffs becomes really, really strong. Other champions in this team, is that the right Kaimar? Don't think so. This Kaimar here, again, we've got War Master on here. We've actually got Crushing Rend to give him more damage for the waves. And damn, this is a damage built Kaimar. Like, I do not see Kaimars built like this. 243 speed, nearly 400% crit damage with 6.2k attack. Kaimar is ready to nuke. I'm interested to see how hard this dude hits for. Damn, that is a hard hitting Kaimar right there. So we've got Lona Thuril in this team. He's coming in over Longbeard as a preference and over double Cardiel, which is what it's kind of started off at. Because, yeah, he's got this ally attack with the whole team, similar to Cardiel, but he's also got an AoE smack for beating waves, which is pretty cool. Masteries got War Master as well and chance to refresh. This then is YST's perfect day. Genzin on a +4 comes in as the 4th champion. The reason for that is he's got crazy fast animations, which when you're looking at world record stuff is really important. Yeah, so really fast animations. He's built to do damage. He cycles through his abilities really quick so that he can get drop defense on wave 2 as well as wave 1. And everything he does is just super fast animations. And he's got this triple hit A1 as well. Savage build with the boost turned on. 273 speed. Enough accuracy to land his stuff. 7.5k attack. 334 crit damage. And he doesn't even have a blessing yet. Pretty nuts. And then the last champion on this team is Newt. Newt has basically opened up new doors for hard finite because of his A1. His A1 dropping turn meter is really kind of like starting to get the mind flowing, the juices flowing in terms of theory crafting now. But he's also bringing the massive smack A3. He's got Giant Slayer as his main mastery. Again, savage and crit damage build. And he has got 349 crit damage to make sure he maxes out that crit damage hit. 3.9k defense, and then 389 on the accuracy there. So pretty juicy builds. Let's get in and see a run here. Let's see how fast we can get this done. The world record which callous set was 51 seconds, I believe. 51. So I don't know if I'm going to be on world record pace here because first off, you get a bit of RNG in the waves, yeah? Look at the damage of these hits. Look at the damage. Oh, man. Oh, the A1 from Kaimar is nuts. 8 seconds through wave 1. Yeah. What was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. Yeah, when you're going for world record stuff, like it's a bit down to RNG. Also, if you run something like RSL Helper, then you actually might shave a little bit of time off as well because it runs the frames faster. 26 seconds onto the boss. I think he said to me, like, if I'm on 20 seconds, I might be on world record pace. So I'm already a bit behind. But we get the ally attack 1 in. Ally attack 2 comes in now after Genzin's hit. Turn meter drop coming in from Newt. We then get the big A3 off. Kaimar reset, so we're going to do it again. Ally attack goes in again now. We're getting the damage away and the turn meter drop. Genzin's going to drop defense. So just calling this out, we failed on the first run that I tried. And that's what sometimes happens. When you're building these world record teams, they're not necessarily 100% teams. They are just teams that run really quick, yeah? So I will show you a consistent team next, but this is just can we smack world record stuff. Now, there's a lot of RNG going on as well. You know, do you get your kind of like max hits away? Look at the damage we get from a Kaimar A1. The Genzin A2 is big as well. 20 seconds or so, 22 seconds onto the boss. Probably not quite on world record pace here, but it is fast. Get a bunch of the shield down on that first ally attack. Genzin A1s. Next ally attack comes in. Bunch more shield down. We're starting to get the turn meter drops as well. Big smack coming in now from Newt on his A3. Reset. Can we go again? Why not? Another ally attack goes in. Getting the turn meter drops away. Drop defense from Genzin. Another ally attack again. Opening up the finite to get this done. And then A3 comes in. Bash, bash, bash. Almost job done. Ooh, with the soul reap for the finish. 58 seconds. And this team has run it in 51. Good job, callous. Okay, so we're on to Sense account here. I didn't show you actually. Like, callous has got crazy stats already in the area bonuses. This is Sense here as well, which is obviously helping him for finite. So his finite team, this is the more steady team that, you know, it's basically a 100% team. It's the one that people were running really before they started to do the double ally attack. So we've got the counter attack, either in a Valk or a Martyr here. Still the reset. Once Nuke came in, the reset was a possibility, but we've got 2 now enemy max HP champions going on. And I guess we'll just have a quick look through the builds here. So we've got Cardiel, not in like full Savage this time around. We've got War Master on. We've got Phantom Touch, 3-star. We are running with the finite boost. 332 speed, 4.9k attack, 266 crit damage on the Cardiel. This Kaimar reset, it is Savage gear. We are on a damage build for Kaimar. 240 speed, 295 crit damage, 5.4k attack. Martyr in a shield set. So this is helping keep us alive when we take that slam from the finite hit. And we've got here 238 speed, 6.1k defense, 235 crit damage with enough accuracy to land stuff. So we are relying on that. I will say here, this will hit hard. Like, Martyr hits a lot harder than people realize. That's going to be fun. We do have a damage Newt here with Soul Reap again. Soul Reap's not something which I'd considered actually, but I guess it just gives you the chance of that faster run. Again, on Newt here, we've got, what, 258 speed, 276 crit damage, a 4.9k roughly defense, enough accuracy to land his stuff. And then we've got Cold Heart coming in Savage gear. Cold Heart's got the, what, 264 crit damage, over crit cap to help you through the waves. And yeah, a lot of attack as well. She's got Phantom Touch on, and we've got Giant Slayer there. So let's see what this one does. I guess I'll show you the AI setup quick. So we've got basically Cardiel, open with the ally attack, but don't use it again. Save it for the boss. Interestingly, so he puts the revive on death and block debuffs up first. That means that when the boss hits, he's not going to take any of like the decreased speeds and stuff. Then he's going to come in with the ally attack after the boss has had a turn. Martyr, again, you kind of like save your main abilities for the boss. Using suppression on wave 2, that's purely for damage. And then on the boss, we're going in with the counterattack straight away. Timer, save your abilities for the boss. And then he's done a Seal of Magic as soon as he can. So he's going to open with the A1, sorry, then Seal of Magic. So we've got Cold Heart here. We turn off the Heart Seeker for wave 1 and 2. Open with the A1, but then prioritize Heart Seeker here. And Newt, do what you like in wave 1. Use your A2 as an opener here for wave 2, but then don't use anything else. We're going to open with the A2 and then use the Blessed Bash whenever he can. Let's get this running. This won't be as fast as one we just seen. This is more of the, I guess, the stable team. Sense tried to bring the levels down to really what you need as a bit of a minimum. So it's still a massive gear check here. Hopefully the team I show on my account will be a little bit more accessible, but we are talking about the hardest content in the game. So it's definitely not content that just anyone can run at this moment in time. So we're smacking through the waves. Most of the wave killing is being done by Kaimar with a load of damage, bit from Martyr, and then actually a good chunk from Cold Heart as well. So we're probably going to be somewhere close to 40 seconds to get onto the boss or to get through these waves. Actually, the first time I've seen anyone hit is when I've run this before. A little bit slower than I've seen. It's about 3 seconds slower than normal, but not too bad. The first part here is all about setup. So you get your block debuffs up. We get our counter attack up. As I say, there's not many people really that you can kind of get in the mix here instead. The shield set stopped us from dying. And then we start to do a counter attack first, followed by the ally attack here. Breaks down the shield. And then we start to take control. So first, enemy max HP still goes off. Second one goes off here. Kaimar says, fancy doing that again, fellas. We get in the mix. We're doing it again. The turn order is actually quite important here. So someone like Martyr being ahead of the rest of the squad to get your drop defense out there is good. There comes the nuke. And under 1 minute 30, as consistent as you like. And that is Sense Team. Okay, then we're on to my account now. I'm on to the final team for this video. I'm calling this more accessible. It's still pretty tough to hit. Like, we still need some champions in the mix. But we've now got 3 good freeze champions here. We've got Yakal, we've got Creodan the Blue, and we've got Newt. So the 3 of them can create quite a successful freeze team. And then we've got 2 ally attackers in the mix to get the job done. Let's have a quick walk through how I've geared mine. I guess we'll start with the ally attackers. So I've got mine in reflex gear. It's not really actually needed. The more I thought about this, it's not that needed. The bigger thing to do is just to make sure they're going in the right order. And, you know, around 250 plus speed is generally what you want to be looking at for your champions. Towards 300, it's fast. Enough accuracy to land skills if they're going to land skills. Grab War Master where you can for extra damage along the way. I've got Lonothoril. It's actually in Relentless set, but not, again, not required Relentless. Just kind of did it. Tried to build a bit of damage into the build as well. Up at 289 speed. Yakal, the first of the freezers here. In a build that does damage. Like Savage build, around 300 speed. 314 accuracy is probably a touch low, but I do have a bit in my build here. So I get an extra 30. So I want about 340 accuracy generally for these guys. We've then got Creodan the Blue, who's actually great. Like, really good in this fight. Got him in Relentless again. Don't need Relentless. I thought I did originally, but you actually want consistency rather than like RNG. So, you know, this is the type of speed that I've got. Again, I've not stacked damage. I've stacked enough accuracy to do his A1 and his A2. and then fast to get his abilities through. And then Newt has come in to make this a way more successful team. So, again, Newt here with his Giant Slayer procs. I do have him in Savage gear to help me get through the waves quicker. 250 speed. This is the same speed and build that I'm using on Hard Spider 10. So, I've got him down at 250. Let's show team setup then. And do what you want. Open with your A3 and then save it. And then A3. That's basically exactly the same for both of the ally attackers. Your Carl, stop using your A3 on the boss. Use it everywhere else. And open with your A1 on the boss and then use your A2 as a priority so we get the decreased speed on. This is super important. If you don't get decreased speed on, it's going to be a wipe. So the 3%er can drop. I can just fail because of a 3% resist. Career down here, we go A2 whenever we can on the waves. We turn off everything apart from the A1 on the boss, just trying to get turn meter drop. Honestly, the A1 and the A2 have got a very similar chance of dropping turn meter. So your percentage chance is actually about the same. So you can have them both on. Newt here, do what you like, do what you like. Stop using your Blessed Bash on round 2. Use it as your opener on round 3 on the boss so that you use it just before the boss takes a turn. And then you're basically going to then guarantee that you do A1s for the next couple of turns. That's really important because it's the opening against the boss where you could fail. It's the kind of start of the fight where you could fail to get his turn meter down enough. Okay, so we watch it through here. I'm always in total control of the waves. Like, I've got no problems at all on the waves. No worries at any point. Okay, it starts to become risky on the boss. And I've run this a number of times. I've kind of tweaked things around. In fact, I was recording a run which failed just before this one. So a bit earlier on today, I've tweaked it to try and improve things, but it's definitely not to the point where I'm at 100%. I'm still tweaking at the moment, but at least this gives you a concept to work from for a proper freeze team without the Valks, without the Cardiels, that type of stuff. But you can see total control of waves. The freeze between Creodan and Yakal makes it super, super smooth. And then we're just smacking stuff down. We're saving now all of our main abilities for when we get onto the actual boss. And then we hit the boss. So we're on the boss 1 minute 10. It's not too bad. And then we go double hits. Phantom Touch, ideally. We get an extra turn from Relentless, which is just lucky. But you don't always get that, obviously. We're now going in with the A3. So that although we don't get full damage away, I've now got 2 lots of A1s with him. First lot of massive turn meter drop comes in between Creodan and Newt. Drop speed goes on from Yakal. It's worth saying Newt is right at the back of the team so that he gets his A1 away last on your ally attacks. That means you're going to get turn meter drop. If he's further up the turn order, you won't get that turn meter drop. And at this point, now the turn meter drop is totally in control and we're laughing. Okay? Because at this point, there's no way this boss is catching back up. And now it's just about how quickly Newt gets his A3s away and we get our smacks in. Everyone else is kind of built for hits, but you notice we're not doing tons of damage. I don't have a drop defense in the team. So if I had Farakin in instead of Lonatharil, I'd get a drop defense in. But I also get 1 less hit on ally attack. It's kind of like, you know, it's weighing it up really. But I am capped on damage on the A3. See there? So we've got a full damage cap away. And we're going to end up something close to probably 3 minutes, between 3 and 3.5, which is very consistently the time that I land when I've done this. As I say, I don't think this is a 100% team yet. I've got a few things to iron out on speeds and stuff. I may be using Scent calculator, Scent and Callous's calculator that I showed you earlier. I can refine it some more. I'm just hoping it kind of gives people a bit of inspiration around what can be done. I have seen as well a cool team which brings in the Rabbit, Razelvarg as the lead. And I think it's probably without Yakal. So everyone's moving faster and you're just getting through your skills quicker. So I've seen other versions going. What I like about this though is it's a proper freeze team. It's basically how this game mode was designed to be done. And yeah, you know, you still got to come in with good gear and stuff, but I like the idea of actually doing it right. 3.5 minutes. There you go. That's my team. That is Finite Hard 10, working from world record stuff to the most common teams we see from the kind of whale guys, and then me trying to get in the mix. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you later.